Welcome back to Always Learning. What are we doing today? Well, today we're learning about how to cook ribs. And I'm going to cook them on a smoker. And I use the same method. I use 3-2-1, 3 hours of smoke at 225 degrees. I use hickory pellets. Then I come back 2 hours, you wrap them up in aluminum foil, crank the temperature to 250. And then the final, you take them out of the aluminum foil, set them on the grill, baste them in barbecue sauce for 30 minutes, and then baste them again 30 minutes later at 250. You can turn it up a little higher if you want. You're just kind of trying to get that barbecue sauce binding. If you've never done anything before on a smoker, this is the easiest thing to do. You literally cannot screw it up, and they will be tender. You can pull them apart. If you want to do the competition, you can make them where they stick on the bone, but you can literally fall off the bone if you want on the smoker. I've done it the same way. I did this big spread of 6 different sauces and rubs, and this is what my family liked the most. So I'll start off, I'll put a binder on of mustard, and then I'll put Arthur Bryant's rub on it, and then I'll finish it the last hour with a baste of Sweet Baby Ray's. That's what my family likes. So anyway, that's what we'll do, but easy to do. You should simply try it if you haven't tried barbecuing before. This is where you want, this or a pork butt is probably where you want to start. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you get your ribs is you want to take this little membrane off the back, and you'll need a fork, or I use a spoon, and I always go to the smaller end and push down on one of the ribs, and you're really just trying to get that membrane kind of free from the bone. And once I do, I take a napkin or a paper towel, and you're just going to grab it because it's kind of slimy. And then once you get it, as you can see, it's starting to pull away here. Simply pull that off, and you're done. Do that on all of them. And it just, you don't have to, but it definitely makes them less chewy. Okay, so step 2 is you're going to put your mustard, your binder. You can use olive oil. You don't taste the mustard, it kind of burns off. And then we'll go with the Arthur Bryant meat rub here. And it's not rocket science. Like I said, it's not hard. You're simply just lathering it up. And I'm doing 4 here today because they came in 2 packs, but and then you're simply just rubbing it into the meat to get it all covered so that the rub will stick to it. Sometimes I'll wear gloves just to make it less mess, but I don't know. I'm not going to mess with it today. Now we're simply going to put the rub on. Simply can work it in as you're going. Make sure you get it everywhere. Seems to work better if you rub pork and you pat like brisket. Okay, now I'm simply going to wrap them up in my aluminum foil. Set them on the rack for now just to help support the weight as I carry it down. Okay, we're rolling about 225. We just put them on. So we'll put them on for 3 hours of smoke at 225. and then put them in the aluminum little boats. Okay, so there's a lot of noise going on outside, so I'm just going to show you in here. You're basically going to take the ribs out of the rack. You can do it grill side too, it's pretty easy. I've got 2 sheets of aluminum foil per rib. They're a little long, so I may tear them off when I get down there, but you're basically going to take canola oil or olive oil and just spray it a little so the ribs don't stick to it. I'm going to set my rib in here. I'm going to pour just to get it wet a little bit. I'm going to pour just a little bit of Pepsi on top of it. Some people will put butter. They'll put a little extra rub at that time. I'm going to wrap it in 1, and then I'm going to wrap it in 2. And the reason you do is it's going to get a lot of juices when it cooks. And so when you're pulling it off the grill, if you use 2, you won't get if it drips through this one, you've got the second one to catch it, because sometimes the bones will poke through if you wrap it tight. And that's it. And we're going to crank it to 250 and cook it for 2 hours. I wrap them tight. If you don't want the bones to separate out of them, if you want a little bit of tug when you pull on it, then open it up and let a little bit of the steam out when it's cooking. So anyway, we'll get at it. So here I'm doing it grill side. I'm just spraying the canola oil in the aluminum foil, taking the ribs off, putting a little Pepsi on there. A lot of people will put butter. If I do it again, I'm probably going to dilute the Pepsi. The sugar in it, I usually use Dr. Pepper, but the sugar in it burnt and kind of gripped the rib to the aluminum foil, and it kind of I felt like it dried out the ribs for some reason. So I'll probably put a little more water in there to give a little more moisture, or maybe add a little apple juice to it. You can kind of do your own kind of crazy concoctions and experiment with them. Some people also put a little more rub at the time. But here they are stacked on the grill at 250 for 2 hours, ready to roll. All right, so here they've cooked for 250 for 2 hours. You want to be careful when you're opening up the aluminum. It's going to have steam in there, and you just kind of want to gently use your tongs to open it up, let some of the steam out, and then you're good to go. These, like I said, they kind of stuck with the Pepsi, so I probably wouldn't use that next time, but now you're just simply transferring them to the grill, either to finish out for the last 30 minutes, or if you're going to baste them, you can baste them for 30 minutes once, or you can baste them twice for 2 sets of 30 minutes. So I'm going to baste them with Sweet Baby Ray's, and I'm going to baste them in 2 sets of 30. So I'll baste them once for 30 minutes at 250, and then I'll come back 30 minutes later, baste them one last time, and let that barbecue sauce really kind of tighten up. And then I'll pull them. If you're not basting them, then you just cook them for 30 more minutes just to kind of get some of that moisture out of them, and then pull them off. All right, here's the final product. 3 hours of smoke at 225. Wrapped them in aluminum boats for 2 hours with the heat at 250. And then did the one last hour at 250, basting them twice with Sweet Baby Ray barbecue sauce. But they turned out pretty well. A little dry at the end. Probably would spritz them a little during the smoke time. It's an easy barbecue project to start off with. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.